Well, California Representative Devin Nunes released a new book titled Countdown to Socialism, and One America's John Hines caught up with the congressman to learn more.
I know you've written a book. It's, to use the parlance of publishing, it's called a broadside, which is a little different format. And it has a very interesting title. I think it's Countdown to Socialism. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, what I wanted to do is go back to a platform that was popular in the 1800s, because I'm nervous about what happens on the internet because things get censored. Even today, it's hard to get the major book carriers to carry this little book, even though it's very simple, it's very cheap, and I wanted something that somebody couldn't destroy or manipulate in any way. So I went back to this old strategy that was popular during the 1700s. So I'm using a broadside or a pamphlet. It's something that you can read in less than a couple hours, and it's made to pass on to your neighbors. The key to this book is this is written to read before the election. That's the key.
So you mentioned the timing is very important. What inspired you to write this book at this particular time?
Well, it was really leaving Washington, D.C., and first time I was able to see some people was right before the 4th of July. We got stuck here, as you may recall, and there was a weather issue, so I had to overnight in Dallas, and there were a lot of people there, and so it was really my first interaction with any actual Americans. And I had people coming up to me in the airport that were really concerned about the future of the country, because this is the time when the riots were starting and the looting and all the craziness that we've seen of attacks on our fellow American citizens and our own federal property. And that's when I decided that, wow, I need to get some information out here that people can read so they really have an understanding of what happened over the last 4 years. So I touch a little bit on the Russia collusion hoax, but also talk about how the media builds fake narratives. None of that is new, but the new element to this is what the social media companies are doing, and how they're creating a disinformation funnel that ends up going to your phone or your iPad or what have you, and it's poisoning the American people. And so much so that I estimate about 55% of Americans are actually cut off from any normal, regular news. And that's what I realized just walking through the airport. How could so many people not, they know something's wrong, but they don't know what, and they see me because they recognize me, and they were coming up and talking to me. And that was when I realized, well, I need to write this down for anybody who wants to really know what's happening and why there's so much confusion out there. There's a reason for it. It was planned.
I think it's a little bit of a warning to people. Is that kind of what you're trying to do?
Right. I mean, that's why I call it Countdown to Socialism. You have a choice. Counting down to the election day, if you vote the wrong way, we're going to be putting people in charge that have a socialist agenda, a radical socialist agenda. But going through the Russia hoax, like I did, I understood what it's like to be in one of those fake news narrative creations that everybody in this town loves to create.
And that's why you recognized it.
And I knew it existed before, but I never had been through it like that. And I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this, because we had the weaponization of the intelligence services that targeted a presidential campaign, the Republican campaign. And then after that, when I started calling people out on this, there was a problem here, I was then attacked.
It's a little bit of a warning, and it's important that people read this before they go and vote, so it may inform them, may change their minds about how they would want to vote, do you suppose?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea. I mean, it gives you a choice. I lay it out.
So we know the title, where people can get it?
Yeah, so I encourage everyone to stay away from the tech oligarchs and go directly to encounterbooks.com, and that's where you can buy, 5 for $5 a piece, and then you can spread them out. And it'll take you a couple hours to read.
And Countdown to Socialism is the title.
Countdown to Socialism.
By now best-selling author Devin Nunes.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.